What's a debit card? A debit card lets Cat spend tokens already owned by Cat. If Cat has 10 tokens in the bank and buys a flight ticket for 2, the 2 tokens leave immediately. The spending happens directly from Cat's own balance. Why debit card? Cat uses debit cards because payments become fast and simple. Cat does not need to carry heavy physical tokens everywhere. One tap finishes the payment. Also, if Cat ever needs physical tokens to buy fresh fish from a street vendor, this card easily opens the ATM machine. Who can use debit card? Any cat with a bank account can use a debit card. Student cat uses it. Working cat uses it. Almost every cat can access one because it uses existing tokens, not borrowed ones. The bank takes zero risk giving this card out to Cat. Benefits of debit card. Debit cards help Cat stay within limits because spending stops completely when tokens run out. There is no borrowing, no interest fees, and no repayment pressure later. If Cat tries to spend more tokens than Cat owns, the machine simply says no. The rewards are small, but the system feels incredibly safe.
What's a credit card? A credit card gives Cat borrowed tokens from the bank. Cat spends first and repays later. If Cat buys a laptop using 5 borrowed tokens, the bank expects those 5 tokens back before a strict deadline. It is a temporary loan for every single purchase. Why credit card? Sometimes Cat needs emergency funds badly, but has only a few tokens. And in some cases, Cat needs to buy something urgent before the next salary arrives. Then, the credit card helps in such crucial times. Who can use credit card? Banks usually give credit cards only to adult cat with a steady income. But having a job is not enough. The only cat who truly should use a credit card is the one who can do proper budgeting. Cat tracks expenses daily and never spends blindly. Most importantly, Cat always keeps a sufficient amount of Cat's own tokens resting safely in the bank account, fully prepared to pay the bank back at any moment. Credit card utilization. Credit utilization is the percentage of how much of the total credit limit Cat is using. It's not a strict rule, but it is better to use only around 30 to 40% of the limit. If Cat wants to find out how much percentage is being used, there is a formula. Percentage of credit card usage equals outstanding balances divided by total credit limit multiplied by 100. For example, imagine the bank gives Cat a total credit limit of 10,000 tokens. Right now, Cat has already borrowed 3,000 tokens. So the calculation becomes 3,000 divided by 10,000 multiplied by 100. That gives 30% credit utilization. This means Cat is currently using only 30% of the total allowed borrowed tokens, which is considered a safer range without exceeding the recommended 30 to 40% limit. Keeping the borrowed amount low proves to the bank that Cat is responsible and not desperate for tokens. Benefits of credit card. Credit cards can give cash back, reward points, free travel miles, and special shopping offers. If a thief cat steals the card or card numbers online, it is the bank's tokens that are stolen, not Cat's own save tokens. If the cat acts fast and reports it to the bank within the time period, along with following some terms and conditions, then it's the bank's tokens that got stolen, and the cat owes 0 tokens to the bank. Every time Cat borrows tokens and pays them all back on time, the bank's trust grows. This trust is called a credit score. A high trust score helps Cat borrow big amounts later, like tokens for a whole house, a loan for business, or more.
Credit card risks. Sometimes the bank tells Cat only needs to pay a small minimum amount today. This is a dangerous trap. If Cat delays full payment, the bank adds an extra fee called interest. Soon, Cat pays more tokens just for the privilege of borrowing. And a question for the cat: what if Cat suddenly gets fired from the job? Monthly credit card payments can become a terrifying struggle. The bank still demands its borrowed tokens back, along with interest. Debit card Cat can simply stop spending. The conclusion: the debit card focuses on spending within safe limits, while the credit card focuses on borrowing power. The problem is never the plastic cards. The problem is with the cats who use them.